The Return of the God of War. Chapter 1: The Return of the God of War. In Erudia, a private jet landed at Northampton Airport, where all international flights experienced an 8-hour delay because of it. At the private passageway were 5 men in suits and leather shoes, standing as straight as a javelin. Every now and then, they would raise their wrist to look at the time, for a big shot was coming to town. The upper-class society of Northampton had learned about his arrival, but no one had the capability to get an inch closer to the private passageway. Even the richest man in Northampton who came to pay homage was chased away. Finally, there were movements coming from the passageway. "God of War!" the mass cried out, their eyes filled with awe and veneration at the sight of the undefeatable legend of Erudia. He, who was dubbed the God of War, was the one and only 5-star war god in the history of Erudia. Once, he'd inflicted a crushing defeat on the strongest battalions in 18 countries. He was an overbearing and formidable man. He who overwhelmed the world with his unparalleled power had even created the 5 Great Wars Regiment, Cavalry Regiment, and many more. Setting foot on his homeland, Levi Garrison was overcome with emotions. Once upon a time, he used to be an orphan who was abandoned on the streets of Northampton and then adopted by the Garrison family. However, the Garrison family had never been fond of him. His adoptive parents, who had a tendency to beat and scold him, treated him like an outsider. As for the outsiders, they treated him as a nobody. But he didn't care a stiver. He had always been proud of his surname since he was a child, and he strived to bring glory to this family when he grew older. At last, Levi had established Levi Group, the largest dark horse in Northampton's business community. With billions of assets, it ranked among the forefront of Northampton, pushing the declining Garrison family to the top. However, not only did the Garrison family show no signs of appreciation, they even harbored dissatisfaction towards him. Jealous of his success, they regarded him as a thorn in their flesh and coveted Levi Group. No matter his wealth and power, unless they were in control, he was just an outsider in the Garrison family's eyes. Eventually, on Levi's wedding night, the Garrison family plotted a frame-up against him by getting him drunk before tossing him onto his sister-in-law's bed. They wanted to create the illusion that he was doing something untoward to her and was caught in bed by his brother and adoptive parents. That night, the Garrison family had brutally broken his limbs and left him on the road like a wild dog. Not only was he handicapped, but he also had to take the flak for something he didn't commit. From an upstart in the business world, he had become the target of disdain overnight. And the next day, he had been punished for several crimes and sentenced to 6 years in prison. He could never forget the ruthless and sinister faces of everyone in the Garrison family and the ridicule of his friends, classmates, and business partners. More so, he could never forget the disappointment on his newly wedded wife, Zoe's face. He had regarded the Garrison family as his home and devoted himself to the family. Yet, they treated him like trash. It felt as if a knife was being twisted in his heart every time he thought about this. How he hated the Garrison family. But who would have thought that Levi had been secretly transferred away from prison to join the military? In a few years, he dominated the military world and became the one and only 5-star God of War. Now that he came back, the Garrison family ought to stay on their toes. "How's it going, Azure Dragon?" Levi asked. Azure Dragon, the commander of the 5 Great Wars Regiment, took a step forward and said respectfully, "Sir, I'm afraid your wife, Miss Zoe Lopez, will remarry at 10 o'clock tonight." Ever since Zoe's husband was sent to prison on their wedding night, she had been living like a widow. Only God knew how much pressure she was put under. And right now, the person Levi couldn't wait to see the most was Zoe. After a moment of hesitation, Azure Dragon continued. "To add on, sir, The Garrison family is holding a successful listing celebration banquet at the Crystal Palace Hotel tonight. Many people had invited the God of War just now, including the Garrison family, but I didn't accept nor refuse directly. What time? Levi asked tersely. 8 o'clock. Sir. Okay. Tell the Garrison family I will attend the banquet. Since the time for the two events didn't clash, Levi gladly accepted the invitation. The celebration banquet for the public listing of Garrison Group was held at Northampton's Crystal Palace Hotel. With the help of Levi Group, they had become a rich and powerful family in one fell swoop. The hall was bustling with noise and excitement, and sounds of glasses clinking could be heard ringing in the air every now and then. God bless the Garrison family, said Joseph, the head of the Garrison family. The younger generations are the stars among men. Garrison Group is now listed and has become an upstart in Northampton. Joseph's 3 sons and daughter welcomed their guests with bright smiles on their faces. The younger generation of the Garrison family was all the smugger and prouder because, after today, the Garrison family would become a powerful family, and they would become one of the top rich kids. Most of the guests who attended today's banquet were from the top circle in Northampton. Garrison, do you know what happened today? Your celebration party is nothing compared to that. They were gossiping about the major event that had happened today. Yeah, I heard that a big shot has arrived in Northampton. The richest man in Northampton wanted to meet him but was shooed away. Apparently, he's not qualified enough. So, Jesse Nielsen had been waiting for 5 hours in advance at the airport. Joseph nodded. Yes, I know about that too. I even sent someone to invite this big shot to the celebration party. No way. Why would this big shot attend such a party? No one believed it. In fact, as an upstart, Joseph was just trying his luck. Dad! Shouted Jacob. The second eldest son of the Garrison family could be seen running over. The big shot has accepted our invitation to attend our celebration banquet. He's on the way. Jesus! God has indeed blessed the Garrison family. Everyone in the Garrison family could barely conceal their delight as this was their chance to reach the sky in a single bound. The grandchildren of the Garrison family gathered together, sunshine flooding their souls. Levi's brother, Brian, and sister-in-law, Victoria, smiled. Well, it all starts with Levi's imprisonment that the Garrison family is at where we are today. Right. Speaking about Levi, do you guys know today's the day that kid gets out of prison? Somebody asked abruptly. Really? Isn't that bad luck? Why did he have to be released on such a big day? Please. Please. Please don't come back. He's the Garrison family's biggest disgrace. Victoria's lips tugged into a sneer. Speaking of which, Levi is the crowning glory of the Garrison family's status today. That's what he's supposed to do, Brian said. He should contribute to the Garrison family for raising him. An orphan. His multi-billion Levi Group means nothing. To put it bluntly, he's just a dog raised by the Garrison family. Someone gave a chortle. As a matter of fact, I've been interested in Levi's wife for a long time now. She's still widowed, and I'm so going to marry her. The man's remark caused gales of laughter. Everyone, stop what you are doing. I have an important announcement to make, Joseph said and went on to announce that the big shot was coming. A thunderous applause was heard, but when the applause had died down, there was still someone clapping. The sound was loud and clear, approaching from afar. On the red carpet, a man came clapping, looking bold and energetic. His stride gave off a majestic and imposing aura, which made the mass hold their breaths. It's Levi, Brian and Victoria exclaimed. Suddenly, all eyes were riveted on him. I forgot this little brat got out of jail today. Levi's adoptive parents spoke in unison. Ignoring the astonished gazes darted at his way, Levi walked step by step towards Joseph. A little bird told me that the company is now listed. How are you feeling, Joseph? Are you happy? Levi flashed him a meaningful smile. How dare you show up here, you insolent brat? And what did you just call me? Joseph's fury sprang to life. Who let him in? Didn't you know he just got out of prison? How inauspicious. Brian rose to his feet. What the hell are you doing here, Levi? Levi sized him up. Why can't I be here? Well, for starters, you are an orphan. The Garrison family has raised you. But you were ambitious and ungrateful. You had inordinate ambitions for your sister-in-law. And you wanted to take possession of the Garrison family. You'd even tried to kill your parents when things go south. Have you no conscience? Do you have any sense of morality left in your heart? You've lost your reputation in Northampton. And everyone knows that. Have you no shame to have the brass neck to come round here? Welcome to download Flipread app to read more chapters of The Return of the God of War novel.